Hey there, it's Nathalie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to fix my son's pair of jeans. These are just like really his favorite. I've already patched them once around the pocket edge. I need to do this one. I'll do that while I'm doing this, repair that pocket. But his billfold will almost fall out of this hole, and for whatever reason he doesn't want to retire these. So anyway, I thought I'll just do them, and then I thought, well, you might want to see this. I'm not going to completely remove the pocket. I could just put an iron-on patch here and sew by hand, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to remove the stitching about halfway up, and then I'll re-stitch this back in place. And so I went through my stash of jeans. I've got several old ragged out jeans. This one is too light. Of course, these are, I'm not sure which brand these are, but the weave of the denim is a little bit different, but I still think it'll be okay. This one is closer to the right color. And so then I don't have, if I put an iron-on patch, then I would have the sticky side of the iron-on stuff to the outside of this, and I don't want that. So I've just got my seam ripper. I'm going to come up here and pick these seams out, pick these stitches out. Get that kind of started here. Of course, like with anything else, getting started is the hard part. We just kind of put stuff off. Obviously, you could tell that I've been putting this off for a little while, but just about anything in life, just get started. Just start. You may not be the very best when you start. Chances are you're not going to be, but you've got to start someplace, and if you don't ever start, well, you're not going to ever improve. So, yeah. And I'm not preaching to you. I'm just trying to encourage you. Just go ahead and get started. Whatever it is that you're trying to do. Whether it's to create something, write something, make something, do a YouTube channel, make a podcast. Just start. There's a bar tack right there. So that's going to be a little bit more tedious for me to get into, but it's not a problem. Just take a little bit of time. Just a little patience. So you don't need to watch me do all of these stitches out. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off while I finish taking these stitches out. Have a cup of coffee while I'm doing this. And then I will come back in a little bit when I'm ready to do the patching part and show you how to do that. Alright, I've got the stitches all taken out of this, and the extra threads kind of cleaned up away from there. I've got this little blue thread, and I've got this patch is pretty close, and so this is going to go underneath there. I'm going to clean up this edge and get me some pins, and then I will take this to the sewing machine, get the camera set up and everything. But let me go ahead and trim off this these extra threads. Now up here I left some of those threads because that helped to secure that, make that hole not quite so big. But on here I'm just going to clean this up, and so I'll just trim this off, and I could go ahead and cut that and square it off and make it nice and neat, but I'm not sure that I'm going to do that just yet. Let me get this down here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's considered a darning stitch, and so I'll just be going back and forth, and I don't think I'm going to use zigzag. I think I'll just use a straight stitch. That's just a back and forth stitch. Go ahead and get that trimmed out there. Get those soft edges out. The little white threads out of there. Alright, I am ready to stitch this. I'm just on a straight stitch. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm on a straight stitch because I was doing some decorative stitches for my little breeches that I was doing. So I'm on a straight stitch and make sure that my stitch length is set to just about 3. And so this is my back and forth, and so I'll be going back and forth. And anyway, I'm going to do what's called a darning stitch. And I will go off of the edge and over into all of this stuff. So you just have to watch. I'll turn the sound off and probably speed through this a little bit. Get rid of that pin. I've already got my blue thread in. And here we go. I don't want to put the whole body of the blue jean underneath here into the surface of my sewing machine. You can't really see that. Anyway, so I am going to just back up, take that needle out, and scoot over here, and then start the whole process again from this direction. You can see the messiness of the stitches a lot better on the back side, and so it's just a lot of catching all of those edges. And so now I've got extra space around here. I'm going to trim that off, make sure I don't cut my pocket so I have to do all this stuff again. So cut that excess off. Okay, and that's the way that it looks on the front side. And I think that'll work just fine, holding that little bifold in place so it doesn't fall out in the parking lot someplace. So I'm ready now to, I'm going to change my thread to kind of a goldy color. And actually this is kind of faded out, so it's really not exactly a gold color, but I'll find a thread that's close to that, get it threaded up, and then come back and stitch the pocket on, show you how to stitch the pocket on. I've got my thread changed out to kind of a yellowy color thread. Yellowy, I've got to fix that part right there. I will do that in a little bit. You don't need to see me do that. I'm going to use the same stitching technique. I'll put a little piece of denim behind that. I'll put a little piece of denim behind that little hole right there, and then I will just stitch back and forth, and I'll avoid this because that's going to make it too thick for my little machine. So all right, I'm going to start with this outside seam first, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little back stitch. And I've got this set to 3. Maybe it needs to be just a tiny bit longer. And do the whole thing over again. Go back to where we started from. Do it one more time following the other stitch line. I got it all done. I got the pocket patched, and I stitched that up right up there so that that would not pull away from the jeans there. And I think my son's going to be super happy about that. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Give me a little thumbs up, share me, like me, you know, all that good stuff. Subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.